Hola, everybody. Welcome back to another Micro Reflections for the 21st century. I'm really grateful that you all are either reading these or listening to them or fast forwarding through them or skimming them. Whatever you might be doing, I hope it's resonating with you. These are just little mini micro reflections that were, really inspired by microdosing and worldviews and all the crazy chaos out there in the external world and how the internal environment really was like meeting that external world. And it's not all about what you look at that matters. It's what you see. And that's a quote by Henry David Thoreau. So if you like these, we do offer this book in our 90-day Journey Back to You program. That is our medicine and mentorship, where you receive 90-day supply of our microdosing product in our supporting nootropic with a journal. This book, obviously these passages are really short, so it's meant to really just riff on exactly how I'm riffing on them when I read them to y'all, and have your own interpretation of them. This is just mine. This is just one interpretation. And the point is to utilize it to expand your worldview and expand your consciousness and shifts in perspective and whatever that might be. A micro tracker to track your progress, a journal to write in, aside from the micro tracker that offers you all these prompts. 36 plant-based recipes in the Food for Thought recipe book designed by an amazing functional nutritionist that used all highly cognitive functioning ingredients, essential nutrients and minerals, and all this really just yummy stuff to support our cognitive function as we are moving through our microdosing process and the food for feeling wheel. And a lot of our emotions and mindset does come from having a healthy diet, and that can be utilized during the process, right? I mean, I know that's a lot, right? As well as integration. That's a big one. So after like 90 days, it's kind of like, wait, Brian, what do I do? Do I keep going, right? Hey, let's try, shifting the diet around. That's a big one. And adding some of this epic food into your body. As well as the weekly integration meetings and the free microdosing community, which you should sign up for on a link here, right below the video that you're watching. Actually, it's big and long and flashing, so join that. That's for free. Love seeing you in there. Love other people posting their ideas and reflections along their experience. And I do post these videos in there with other content that comes to mind, and hopefully it just keeps educating and nourishing you all. So let's get on with it. This is Micro Reflections for the 21st Century, Passage 20 in Week 7. Okay, so we are kind of like right in this, almost in the middle of spring equinox and summer solstice. So the intention here is to do these every season. There's 36 passages in this book, so I'm doing about 3 of these per week for y'all, and we'll hit 36 somewhere right around summer solstice, and we'll start over again. And maybe these passages just have a different meaning every season to season, or equinox to solstice and solstice to equinox, and so on. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a tip to get us into the rhythms of nature that many of us are so disconnected from. So here we go. The basic building blocks of all civilizations. What type of world do you want to live in, to evolve in, to have your children grow up in? Morality, compassion, and wisdom are the basic building blocks of all civilizations. Yet, they must be cultivated in childhood and sustained through continuous education in a supportive environment as we, capital letters, evolve. Remember, we signifies a group of like-minded individuals and really shows that we are all interconnected beings on this planet Earth. We can't wait for the next generation or depend on the next president or even some viral meme on the illusionary treadmill of the internet to save us. No one's coming to save us, right? We need to save ourselves, and hopefully when we save ourselves, right, we put that oxygen mask on first when the plane is going down so we can save the people next to us and help them out. But even though we can't really save other people, we can't fix them, no one's broken, we need to cultivate that compassion, morality, wisdom, and I would like to throw another one out there, humility, right, to be that reflective human being to the other people around us. Be that walking billboard for the people in your life. We must do it now. We don't have time to waste, everyone. We are running out of time, like colossally running out of time. Like I was just having a reflective moment the other day. It's like I am 43 years old, and wow, I was in the East Bay in Oakland last week, the time of this recording. And I was like, wow, I forgot. I lived here twice. I lived in like the Berkeley and Oakland Hills when I was 21 years old after I traveled in Australia, flew back from Australia. I didn't have any money. And the girl that I had met was like, oh, you can fly back with me and stay with my family. And I worked for a month there, and I painted her mom's house, her office, and worked off my room and board and some of the money that the girl I was dating, her name's Laura Grossman, maybe she's listening at some time, and worked that off, and I was like, wow. And then like I went to Tahoe later that summer, and geez, I was 21, and then just over a year later, that's when I moved to Tahoe. But 2 years prior to that, I drove out with my high school buddies from New Hampshire to Tahoe. And then I was like, oh, wow. And then a year before that, when I was 18 in 1998, my parents took me to Tahoe. They met here in Tahoe, where I'm sitting and where I'm from, where I live, everybody. Just a little story for you, a little tangent. But I was under a psychedelic journey while I was going through this, and I was walking through Oakland and Berkeley and being like, totally forgot about that. My girlfriend was like, wait, you just forgot? And I was like, I kind of, yeah. I was like, time just moved super, here's the tie it all in. Time just moved very, very slow. But I've been coming out here since 1998, 25 years, okay? Like every year, 98, then 99, then 2001, so skip 2 years, and then 2002, and I've been here since. It's 2023. So we must do it now. Time is running out, everybody. But is it? We must contribute to the rehabilitation and renewal of basic human values, but on a worldwide scale, and commit to it. You've all heard the, think globally, act locally, kind of like that. What are the basic, the renewal of basic human values? I always think of courage as one of the 6 C's, right? Those are the values here at Medicine Box that we use in the medicine mentorship community. Courage, clarity, creativity, compassion, solid communication or conversation, interchangeable, and consciousness. Okay, so basic human values, and commit to it on a worldwide scale. So a little practice for you. What are your basic human values, or what do you think are the basic human values, and expand on that. They're usually just quite simple, but we overcomplicate things. So to attain this commitment, we must cultivate self-realization. So remember, the 90-day journey back to you is all about a journey of self-awareness, right? We don't ascend, right, and go up and out and away yet. We have to fully descend into the human experience before we ascend. It's not, I'm too ascended to be offended. I've heard that before, and it really annoys me. So anyone that says that, if that's triggering you, cool. That's what it's supposed to do. No one's ascended, okay? It's about fully descending into the human experience and digging through and untangling all those mycelial roots and attachments and traumas and shame and addictions and neurosis that we have, and accepting it, right? When we do that, then we can come to a place of self-realization. And then after that, we get to actualization, where we are renewing basic human values on a worldwide scale, right? So awareness, boom, that's us, that's you, that's me, that's we, okay? Then self-realization, right? Having self-realization is probably one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves in this human experience. But it starts with awareness first, okay? And now moving down, each of us has a responsibility. We all have a responsibility to at least try to help at a deeper level for our common humanity. That is actualization, right? That is what that is describing. So I'm going to repeat that again, because each of us, 7 billion people in this world, have a responsibility to at least try to help at a deeper level, whatever that might be. Like smile at a stranger. You don't have to flick the person off that cut you off driving. Maybe you do. I don't know. But to help at a deeper level for our common humanity. That's what we are here on this earth for, is to help one another out. But we first need to what? Help ourselves. Create the level of self-awareness to get to that self-realization, and then outwardly expand that without dumping our traumas and our projections and our lack of integrity and triggers on other people, places, and things. And this stems from our right to be sovereign in our own health and happiness while harmonizing a relationship with Mother Earth. That is just riffed right on through. The mission of Medicine Box is to create sovereignty in our health and happiness while harmonizing a relationship with Mother Earth, right? So through equal parts medicine and mentorship to create full health sovereignty. That is what the mission of Medicine Box is all about, and that's what we're trying to do when we help you through your practice of self-awareness. And do this with an open heart and a willingness of mind. Okay, connect the mind in the heart and create what the Buddhists call is the wind horse, right? Think of it when your heart and your mind are working collectively, right? The heart is where the mind goes to rest. And the journey to the heart, you've probably all heard this, is one of the most gratifying and most challenging experiences that we get to give ourselves while we roam this earth. Okay, so with an open heart, right? Open. Do that once in a while. I just cracked my back, but open, not slouched. Open that heart up. And a willingness of mind, open-minded, a willingness to see things differently, a willingness to do the work, a willingness to change, a willingness to be a little bit different and have some divergent thinking versus convergent thinking, and get outside of the normal societal structures, ideologies, and dogmatic views and conditioning that we've all kind of been exposed to, right? That's the weird stuff. We're not the weird ones, right? We're getting to be more normal when we do this. Okay, so don't listen to what other people have to say if you're in this journey. Combined with patient listening. How many of us listen just because it's going to be our turn to talk? That is one practice that I work on a lot. So I always try to lean, it's like body language, lean in to the person speaking and look them in the eyes, right? Look at them while they're speaking, and you can kind of retain that information just a little bit better. And we can consider the points of view of others. I'm almost laughing because so many people don't consider the points of view of others, and they just point fingers and call you names and automatically think you're someone that you're not, and they don't even know you because you wrote 5 words in an email or an Instagram post. And exchange ideas in a calm discussion until we find points of agreement, right? We all want happiness, and however we go about doing that, whatever weird way that might be, who are we to judge someone else? But we can always find points of agreement somewhere. And even if that's agreeing to disagree, and just move on. It is what it is. The things you understand are just the way they are. The things you don't understand are just the way they are. Just is. Unfortunately, our current humanity is being sacrificed to protect negative ideologies, with the internet being the shield of defense. I just kind of riffed on that a little bit. This internet is like, you can hide behind the screens and keyboard warriors and trolling and put out content and information overload, and is that's almost a shield of defense. Information, just because you have a lot of information, does not necessarily mean it's even translating into knowledge, and it certainly isn't cognitive of being experienced, right? Knowledge is experience, and that experience what turns into wisdom, the innate wisdom generating people that we already are, right? But so many people are now hiding behind the internet as a shield of defense, and it's sacrificing our basic building blocks of all civilizations. So open your mind's eye to what is possible and go beyond that. See through it, right? I am a recovered alcoholic and drug addict after 10 and a half years, and one of the practices that I have, hey, Brian, how do you not drink when there is a glass of wine in front of you at dinner or someone drinking a beer? It's like, I have trained myself to look through the bottle instead of into it, right? Look through it instead of into it. There's nothing for me into it. So open your mind's eye to what is possible through it, through the situation, through the conversation, through the piece of information, okay, through the meme, even through the news, through the media, all of those things, and what is possible, and go beyond it and be discerning and think for yourself. That's what that really is. And boom. Ram Dass. We are fascinated by the words, but where we meet is in the silence behind them. That could be a point of agreement. Couldn't it, everybody? Over and out. That was a great Micro Reflections. Thank you all for listening.